Good afternoon, shopkeepers and do-it-yourselfers out there. Today we're working on a 2002 Lincoln Continental with a 4.6 32 valve V8. We're going to put a serpentine belt in it and replace the one that was on it. I've already got it off, and it was oil saturated. I don't know where it's at, laying down here somewhere. It's gone. Dog probably got it. Anyway, we washed all this down real good, degreased it, and I really don't see where the oil was coming from. Probably people pouring oil in it and missing and just getting it all over the place. And you want to check your pulleys. I've replaced this upper idler pulley bearing right there. It was all whopper jawed and making noise. But to replace it, you got to have skinny hands. Use a long 3/8 drive ratchet, and you're going to set your ratchet mechanism to where when it's on there, you're going to push down counterclockwise on the tensioner to get it off, or you can cut the belt off, whichever you prefer. But I'll show you the routing as we get the belt installed, so let's go underneath. I'll point out a couple things here for guys that don't know. On your 4.6 and your 5.4, there's your crankshaft position sensor. I believe it's always on the left side of the block as you're facing the crank pulley. There's the crank pulley. And then we got the lower idler pulley, and then there's your air conditioner pulley right there. You want to check, make sure those bearings are good. And so what we're going to do, we're going to put the belt up here and go underneath between the block and the tensioner pulley first. So we're going to kind of pinch the belt like that and go in underneath the pulley like that. I think maybe I can get one-handed and just walk it up in there. Now it's around the tensioner pulley. Now the tail that comes off the top of the tensioner pulley, take and feed it over the top of the crank pulley and kind of push it up there out of the way. It's going to go around the water pump. And then the tail that comes across the bottom of the tensioner pulley goes over the top of the crank pulley with the grooves in the belt down. Well, it come off the daggum. There it goes, back on the tensioner. And you want to make sure you don't catch your belt on top of the crank sensor. You don't want to break it. So you're going to go around the bottom of the crank pulley over to the, I know you can't see, over to the air conditioner, the AC compressor. Get the light over there. Okay, it's on there. And we'll go up to the top. And we got to reach down there and get the belt, but my hand won't fit in there, or my arm. So I've got this professional, I believe it was a snap-on brake line. Yeah, bent a hook on it. And yeah, it's got a bend in it right there, right where we need it. That's perfect. Snap-on thinks of everything. And we'll reach down there and hook that belt and bring it up here where we need it. I get the light, and it looks like we're on the back side of the crank pulley, or the crank sensor, I mean. Want to make sure we don't catch that. There we go. We're getting it pulled up there. You got to kind of go up sideways so you can go between the frame wall and the bolts on the water pump pulley. They won't go up straight or perpendicular. There's not enough room. Okay, we got pulled up over the top of the water pump, and it's underneath the idler pulley there, and it's on top. Down there at the bottom, you can see it's on top of the powerful steering pump. I'll get my ratchet down in there, get a hold of the tensioner, and then I'll probably take the belt out from underneath the idler pulley to give it more slack and get it up on the alternator, and then push it up underneath that idler. Now I use my long screwdriver to wedge between the frame and the ratchet head to push it up in there to engage it in the 3/8 drive, and then I pull it clockwise to apply tension. And let me reach in there. I'll have to. Well, I was able to get down here and grab a hold of the belt and pull it up and just flick it on there with my finger. So we're on the alternator good. We're square under the tensioner. And looks like we're on top of the power steering pump, or the air conditioner, I mean, down there. We'll go underneath and check everything. Yeah, that's why you check, because the air conditioner is it's not lined up right. But we're on the crank pulley okay.